everyone, here's a quick and dirty introduction to Roman numerals and how to use them. So what I've got here are two scales. I have my C major scale and my A minor scale. And so what I want to do is first of all figure out what the scale degrees are. So scale degrees is just a fancy way of saying counting up the scale from the bottom to the top. So if I add some lyrics here, scale degree 1 is going to be the tonic. Scale degree 2 is going to be called the supertonic. Scale degree 3, the mediant. Scale degree 4, subdominant. Scale degree 5, dominant. 6, submediant. The 7th is the leading tone, and then we're back at tonic again. All of those exciting names, you know, it's good to know them, but not really necessary. It's good to know tonic, dominant, and then leading tone. So notice that the leading tone here is a half step away from the C, and if I play it, and then I stop it there, it's kind of discombobulating, right? You want to hear the B go up to the C, and so that leading tone has a very important tendency to step up to the C, and that's going to become important later. Same thing with this scale. It's the A minor scale, but we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to tonic. Here the 7th scale degree is called the subtonic instead of the leading tone because it's not a half step below the A, right? It's a whole step below. So what we did when we learned about harmonic minor is we raised that 7th scale degree to give us that leading tone. So when we're working with chords in minor, often we're going to raise that leading tone so that we can have the pull to tonic that isn't really present with the subtonic here. Okay, so that's the first step, figuring out the scale degrees. Second step is to make triads above every note. So real easy, just gonna make line, 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 space, space, space. Sounds good, right? Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the minor. That's pretty low. I mean, sorry, pretty high, so I'm gonna bring it a little lower. Okay, technology. All right. So the next thing that we need to do is figure out what the quality of each of these chords is, because if we can figure out the quality for these easy scales, C major and A minor, we can figure out the quality for any scale because it's never going to change. So instead of going through and spending our precious time figuring that out, I'm just going to tell you that it's going to be major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. And that's always going to be the case. In a major scale, that's always going to be the pattern. Now, in the minor scale, you remember, ignore that line. In the minor scale, remember, we're starting from the 6th scale degree when we do this relative minor. So we've got minor, diminished, major, minor, minor, major, major, and back to minor again for the tonic. So this gives us a little bit of a problem in that this minor 5 is missing that leading tone that we really want to hear to make it go smoothly and really pull you into the tonic again. So we're gonna have to do something about that, and the thing that we do about that is we make it sharp. So we borrow from the harmonic minor scale, we make that G sharp, and suddenly you have a major chord there. So I'll change that one back to major. This 7th scale degree, the chord built on the 7th scale degree, actually can go both ways when you're doing both harmonizations and figured bass realization. So in its natural form, it's a major 7. You can also, just like with the 5 chord, you can also borrow the leading tone so that we build that chord, and suddenly we have a diminished chord there. So both of those things are legitimate for the 7th. However, for the 5th scale degree triad, we're always going to want to see a major 5 in minor, at least for now. Major 5 in minor. Okay, last step, we're going to make Roman numerals. The Roman numerals take the number of the scale degree and the quality of the chord and kind of mix them together. So if I just text lyrics. You ready? So this first one, it's a major chord built on the 1st scale degree. I have Roman numeral uppercase 1. Minor chord built on the 2nd scale degree, minor 2, minor 3. Oops. I don't know how to get back. Boop, boop, boop. Minor 3. This one, 4th scale degree, major 4, major 5, minor 6, and diminished 7. Okay. Same thing here. And that would be 1 again. Same thing here. We're going to use the scale degree and the quality to give us our Roman numeral. So a Roman numeral for the first one is going to be a minor 1, right? Not a major 1. So that lowercase 1. For the second one, it's going to be 2 diminished. For the third one, it's going to be a major 3, minor 4. Now that we've raised the leading tone, we want that major 5, major 6. With this one, where we've raised the leading tone again, we're going to have a 7 diminished. If we had not raised the leading tone, we would have had a major 7, right? But we did, so we're going to have a 7 diminished. And then we're back to minor 1. So far so good, right? It's really just another thing that you need to take a step at a time. Figure out the scale degree, figure out the quality, and then give it the right Roman numeral. At the beginning of doing everything, we're going to stick with just 1s and 5s, the tonic and dominant chords. But we're going to add more chords, and so it would be a good idea to kind of remember 2 is going to be minor, 3 is going to be minor, 6 is going to be minor, etc. So let's put this into practice a little bit. So here's my cute little chorale. I forgot to put a 3rd in there. Look at that. Okay. See, that's why you listen back to these things before you show them to people, so that you can make sure you don't make mistakes. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, all right, well, in this chord I have a C, C, E, and G. This is in C major, right? So first thing I need to do is write the key. Roman numerals mean absolutely nothing if you don't have the key there first. So, all right, I have C, E, and G. I look up here. Okay, C, E, and G is the 1 chord in major. So, I will use Roman numerals. I'll put a 1. All right, G, B, and D. If I look up above again, I find that that's a 5. And really all I'm doing is figuring out what notes are in the chord and applying them to the little pattern of Roman numerals I did above. This one has a C, and an E. In a root position chord, you can actually skip the 5th, and that's okay. It doesn't sound bad. So even though it looks like it might be C major, it might be A minor. Since it's missing the root, if it was A minor, we're going to keep it C major. This one, oh, something different. F, A, and C. Okay, we're going to go back and look. F, A, and C. That's my 4 chord. All right. So this, again, as long as you write your Roman numerals down first, this should be fairly easy. And again, at the very beginning, we just be using 1 and 5. So we're going to keep it as simple as possible for a good while. So G major, another G major chord, and back to C major. And that's, really all there is to Roman numerals. A little bit later, we'll start adding inversion. So let's say I move this one up to here, and that one, because I don't want to double the 3rd. So this one, when I have the inversion, I'm going to put the 6 next to it. Really, really important that the inversion go with the Roman numeral. They're kind of like peanut butter and jelly. They have to go together. All right. Sounds good. Bye-bye.